Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Tanks and welcome back to part 2 of my ranking tier 8 premiums. If you haven't seen the last video, if you haven't seen part 1, make sure you go check that out. I'm literally recording this about 20 seconds after I press stop recording for part 1. So for most of this to make sense, you'll need to go watch part 1. I've already done the majority of the French and Chinese vehicles, as well as the Skoda T27 or whatever. Just a quick rundown of what I'm doing. Obviously, you've all pretty much seen one of these before. I do have a bit of a bonus, sorry, not a bonus section, but a different section that a lot of people don't have, and that is no opinion. That means I have no opinion on the tank. Because they're tier 8 premiums, I haven't played them all. I don't know a huge amount about some of the premiums, depending on when they were released and depending on kind of when they were put into the game and how much I was playing. So there is a no opinion section. Other than that, you've got all of the tiers, which are kind of, you know, described on the left-hand side. Once again, this is my opinion, so please don't, you know, hate me forever and ever and ever if I put your favourite tank in the bin. All you CDC enjoyers out there are raging at me right now already. But yeah, we're just going to move straight in. Like I said in the last part of the video, I'm trying to break this up into like half an hour sections because I was like, oh, well, you know what? I might be able to get it done in half an hour. Yeah, makes a half an hour video. Still has probably 2/3, if not 3/4 of the tanks left to do. So anyway, I've probably already waffled for 2 minutes longer than I should have done. Let's move straight in, starting off with the Germans, and starting off with the Panther 88. It's a tank I don't actually know a huge amount at, so it has potential to go in no opinion. However, it's a good tank. I've heard enough about it. I've seen the buffs. I've seen all of this. I've seen all that. It is actually a good tank. I'm actually genuinely kind of tempted to get hold of it at some point. Is it in the gold? Is it for gold? It's not for gold. That is interesting. Hang on. There's a cheeky way of being able to do this. Go to compare. You can also find like funky tanks that haven't actually been released in the game this way. Well, you always used to be anyway. I don't know if Wargaming have stopped that. So Panther 88. It's probably somewhere else a lot easier to access than that. But it's got insane DPM for a tier 8 premium. Like really good for a tier 8 premium. Good accuracy as well. 280 alpha, which is really nice. 203 standard pen, again, really nice. 237 on the premiums, not amazing. Yeah, overall, it just looks like a really nice tank. Mobility is decent, not amazing. View range is decent. Armor is also decent. Like, I say decent, that means basically it doesn't get penned by everything. People actually, like, have the ability to bounce. Good would mean you bounce shots every now and again. Amazing is you can actually use it. So yeah, it's a good tank, like especially working around the gun, like using the DPM and everything like that. The Canon Jagdpanzer, this one is the 105 Canon Jagdpanzer. I think it's a decent tank from what I've heard. No, good tank, decent, good. I don't actually have it, so again, it does have grounds to go in no opinion. I will, if I don't have the tank, I will try to remember to actually say that I don't have the tank, so that you guys know that this is coming from purely looking at other people's gameplay of the vehicle. I think it looks decent. I'm actually going to keep this comparison up, because then I can just do this. Ha 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 ha. Oh, I'm so good. Just so good at the video games. Okay, I've lost the Canon Jagdpanzer 105. Wait, I have it? Oh, no, I have it as a rental, don't I? Oh, I can just choose to purchase. Cool. Oh, what an idiot. View in garage. Oh, I completely forgot I had it as a rental. I'm so sorry, guys. I just wasted so much time. Mobility is really good. Obviously, 70 kilometers an hour is insane. It gets a 105mm gun with really nice gun stats. So, yeah, it's a decent tank. I think the camo is also pretty good. It's not too shabby. I'm going to say decent tank, actually. I think it's a decent tank, but for a tank destroyer, for me, a tank has to be really good to go up because, you know, I'm not a huge tank destroyer fan. Canon Jagdpanzer, which is the one with the 88. I don't really have an opinion on, but I want to put it in the bin because I really think a lot of people absolutely hated that tank. Like having only 240 alpha on a squishy as hell tank on a tank destroyer, it just wasn't fun. They put this into the game not long after they removed the E25, so I think they kind of put it in, piggybacking on the hope that loads of people would see the good stats, the really high rate of fire, and think, oh, it's E25 2.0 and buy it, which I think a lot of people did. But I really... yeah. It's got... I don't have it, so it has got grounds to be no opinion, but I want to put it in the bin because... annoy some people. You gotta annoy some people every now and again. Right, Scorpion / Scorpion G. It's a great tank. It just is. Like... 128mm gun. Fully traversable turret, decent camo. Obviously, it's got no armor, but the gun is just where it's at. I'm not going to go too much into the Scorpion. You all know what the Scorpion's like. I'd be very surprised if people don't have the Scorpion, as I think it is one of the most played tanks on the server. It's just an amazing, amazing tank. Mutz is very much below average, very much in need of a buff. It's not in the bin because it's still an okay tank. Like, I have the vehicle. It's also the, what's it called, the Schwarzpanzer, and also the Panzer 58. I think there's actually 3 variants of this thing in the game. But yeah, the gun is decent. Like, it's alright. It's alright. DPM's a little on the low side, but that's because this tank comes from a... Again, I love this thing. This thing was a great tank back in the day. Like, we're talking back in 2015. This was a great tank. It was the CDC, a little bit less mobility, but you can get penned by HE, which was really nice. The gun was really nice. It was just a solid all-round tank. That's why I think I've played it like quite a lot of games in this tank. Yeah, 234. It's a really decent tank. Back then. Now it's just been power crept, and it's just below average. It's just not that good. Its armor accounts for nothing. The gun's DPM is now terrible. Other things have so many more better gimmicks, everything like that. It's not that great. It's below average. It's probably a high below average. It's probably creeping into average, but I would definitely say below average. M41 Gf or Black Dog, or M41 90. Sorry, the GF is the grand finals version. I've got to say it's a good tank. Obviously, I put the M41D up here. It's basically the same tank, but just with a 90mm gun. The 90mm on this thing has really, really nice DPM, especially for a light tank, like 2,700 in my setup. Really nice. It has the HEP rounds, which are like HESH, but high penetration. HE rounds, which I'm pretty sure this was one of the first tanks to kind of get that high penetration standard HE, especially down at tier 8. So that's what made it really nice, because it could just, when you load the HE, you've got same DPM as an Object 140. And when you met other tier 8 light tanks back in the day with this thing, it just used to absolutely butcher them, because you could just pure out DPM them and then stop firing, break contact, and then come back in and perform a standard light tank roll, especially with really good view range. So yeah, I would still say it's a good tank even to this day. Again, with all light tanks, if you're a below average player, I would say they do slip down this list though fairly well. Mauerbrecher can get in the bin, and it can firmly stay there until it is told otherwise. I have played a couple of rental games in the tank. I also have heard everything that everybody has ever said to me. It is a mouse down at tier 8. Wargaming advertised it as incredibly strong armor, so good. It's a movable bunker. Nothing is ever going to pen it, ever, unless you shoot the lower plate, which is a hell of a lot weaker than the mouse's. Or the side is a hell of a lot weaker than the mouse's. Like, the frontal armor is insane, but you actually angle it a bit too much, the side armor gets penned really quite easily, and it's ridiculously immobile. It is the speed of a bunker. And also, unlike the mouse, which, you know, you have to shoot the cheeks, usually with premium, which you would have to kind of on this thing, it's got a huge ass cupola as well. The gun is also not particularly great. Aim time, accuracy, shocking. DPM, pretty shocking. Alpha's nice, but nope. Nope, 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 nope. It can get in the bin. Easily get in the bin. HWK-30, decent tank. Kind of similar to the M41 I don't know why I don't think it's as good. I think it's maybe because it's something this thing, like the M41 is quite a big light tank. Like, especially if you compare it to like an LT432 or something like that. It's a big light tank. The HWK-30 is even bigger. It has got a really nice gun. It hasn't quite got the DPM though of the 90 GF. But it's still a decent tank. View range is nice. You can still play it like a light tank. You can play it kind of more like a medium tank as well, because has got a decent amount of hit points, especially for a light tank. However, the issue is, obviously, you have no armor, and it's a big tank. Like, I think this is probably the biggest tier 8 light tank, or if not even one of the biggest light tanks in the game, and people do not miss this tank. You shoot this thing, it's gonna hit pretty much. So I would say it's decent. I wouldn't want to put it really any higher. VK, was it 7501K? I think it's average. Disclaimer, I don't have the tank. I would say it's average. Damage is really nice. Ability to side scrape is quite nice. Cupola is not nice. The rest of the tank, not particularly nice. I don't have a huge amount to say on that tank. I think it's average. It can do all right, but it's not amazing. But again, I don't have it, so there is grounds on that thing for no opinion. Which is exactly where the next one is going, is that the M48A2, the Schwarzpanzer, or whatever it's called. It's actually probably easier if I do this tanks Eugene. Wait. Is it this one? Yes, it is this one. I genuinely don't know a lot about it. I don't think it's an amazing tank, because if it was an amazing tank, I'd have heard a load about it, but I don't know hardly anything about it, so that's going in no opinion. E75 Ts, I think a lot of people have said that's a good tank. Again, disclaimer, I don't have it, but it's something that a lot of people have said, oh, it's really good, like, you should get it, so I'm going to put it up in good tank. As far as I'm aware, 360 alpha on the gun is actually kind of nice. Let's have a look, shall we? Tier 8 heavy tank. Am I being blind? Oh, no, there it is. So yeah, the gun's decent, 8 degrees gun depression, nice pen, good alpha, DPM's a little on the low side. Armor's actually decent on this tank, if I remember rightly, like, you can angle it, you've got the side skirts, lower plate's obviously weak, cupola's quite weak. Not quite the armor of a Lerva, but it's quite a mobile tank in comparison as well, like 1200 horsepower engine, 16 horsepower per ton, 45. It's genuinely not that bad, and I have heard a decent amount about it, and I think apparently it's quite a good tank, so it's going in good tank. KPZ... Wait, what's it called? KPZ 70? How's the tank? KPZ 7, sorry. KPZ 07RH. Completely forgot that. Yeah, some people I think would put it up here with great tank. I'm tempted to put it good tank. I'm also tempted to put it decent. See, it's when I'm like this. I look at other tanks at what I've ranked them, and I think, which would I prefer to play? I'm gonna put it in good tank. I haven't played it a huge amount. I know it's played very well. Obviously, this thing has got some of the lowest alpha for tier 8 mediums, but it's got insane DPM to compensate, like a 4-second reload. The accuracy, the aim time, really good. 9 degrees gun depression. It's got decent mobility. Oh, it's got very good mobility, actually. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's a good tank. Probably a solid good tank as well. Not towards the top, not towards the bottom. I haven't actually played a huge amount of games in it, so that's why I was kind of struggling with where to put it. And, yeah. Lerva, I would say good tank. since some of the buffs this thing's had, sorry, I would definitely say it's a good tank. Obviously, armor's still relatively nice. The gun is insane, especially firing premium is really, really, really nice. Yeah, I would say the Lerva is a good tank. It's obviously still a bit slow, still a bit sluggish. I actually remembered this time that I have a rental of the vehicle. But yeah, accuracy is good. Aim time's not. 10 degrees of gun depression. This thing has obviously been changed because it's one of the oldest premiums in the game, I'm pretty sure. Mobility isn't great. Sorry, I'm having to have a drink because I've been talking now for like a while. I'm going to put Lover in decent, actually, because I don't think it compares to an E75 Ts. I think it's just a bit too slow to be up here. But it's definitely not down like this way. I'm also looking at the Revelarize, thinking I want to move it down a bit. No, we're leaving it for now. There's just tanks that catch my eye going, oh, is that really there? Jagdtiger 88, below average. Gun is up here. Unfortunately, it's mounted to a turd of a chassis. The Jagdtiger chassis, that's the Jagdtiger, the Jagdtiger 88, and any other variants that may or may not be in the game, used to be really good. When premium, you actually had to fire when gold was gold. Because the superstructure was good, the upper plate was average, you could kind of angle the vehicle, hide the lower plate, you were actually doing alright. Now it's just shit. Everybody with the pen power creep, everybody just pens you. With premium, most people don't struggle with the upper plate with standard. The gun is good, but doesn't compensate, and you are one of the biggest bloody tanks in the game, I'm pretty sure. Like, it's such a huge tank, and like, you know, you have the side of this thing, and I kind of think of it as, where is it? I literally scrolled past it. I kind of think of it as, when I'm playing other tanks, because again, disclaimer, I don't have this vehicle, but when I'm playing other tanks, do I ever look at this tank and think, oh shit, a Jagdtiger 88? No, I look at this tank and I think, ooh, 1,500 hit points for me to farm. Lovely. It's just, yeah. It's just, in my opinion, it's not that great. The gun is insane. Like, 7 degrees of gun depression's kind of a bit of a letdown, but 0.3, 1.7, 3k DPM. It's just, you only go 38 kilometers an hour, and I'm pretty sure that's a fictional top speed with 10 horsepower per ton. You've not got a turret, and you've got some of the biggest tracks in the game as well. Like, I have absolutely no problem hitting the front drive wheel of these tanks and just pinning it down, keeping it locked down, and just farming it for all its HP. Like, 100%. I don't think it's getting the bin. I think the gun kind of makes up for that, but then at the same time, I put the KPZ. No, you know what? Jagdtiger's getting in the bin. It is now in the bin. That's the Schwarzpanzer Panther. Someone's put the Schwarzpanzer Panther 5 in, which I have absolutely, that's just no opinion. That's null and void. That doesn't matter. Now, some Italian tanks. Progetto. It's between OP and Great Tank. I genuinely don't know. It's on the line. I'm going to put it in Great Tank. No, I'm not. It's going in Great Tank. It is up there. I don't think it's... but do I not think it's OP? No, because I would say that the Brask is in a different class. Like, if I'm one-on-one with a Progetto in the Brask, I'm laughing. Because I put 2 shells into him, in the same time he puts 2 shells into me. Or if I catch him off guard, I put 2 into him for him only putting 1 into me. Which you will, because you've got better camo, you've got better mobility and stuff. And you take half his HP away. And then you run away using your mobility, or you just make sure that you don't get too close to him. And then you pop back up and you kill him. So I don't think I can put the Progetto in OP because I don't think it's OP. It is an insanely good tank, though. Insanely good. Like, definitely at the top end of great tanks. But I don't think it's as good as the Borask in terms of... I don't think it's overpowered. It's probably top tank of non-overpowered tanks at tier 8. That's what I would say. Basante, I think is a decent tank. I don't think it's awful. Where is it? It's like at the end. Here we go. I think it's awful. It's quite a modern looking tank. The gun, 10 degrees gun depression. The armor's okay. It's not amazing. It's okay. Mobility is okay. It's not shocking, but it's okay. It's just the DPM, man. The Italian auto-reloading heavies. They had so much potential to be like the best tanks in the game because you look at the Progetto and you look at the mediums. The fact the mediums had to be nerfed. But then Wargaming just went, no, you know what? I don't think I will. The gun handling is pretty awful. The DPM is pretty awful. You do have the compensation mechanic when it comes to the auto-reloader, but it's still not good. 3 seconds between shells. It's not amazing. I'd say it's decent. It can work in certain situations, but it's definitely not in all. STA 2, I would say, is probably average. I don't have the tank, so disclaimer there. Where is it? Here it is. I nearly purchased it then. That wouldn't be the worst thing. DPM, I thought the DPM was a lot nicer than that. Okay, maybe not. The gun's okay. View range is good. Your view range is very good, actually. 400 meters view range. Mobility is okay. Armor is obviously trash. That's the poster boy of average. 50 TP prototype. I don't have the vehicle. I think it goes somewhere between good and decent. I'm going to say good. I think it's got... where are we? Polish. It's got 8 degrees gun depression. 10 degrees gun depression, sorry. Okay, 10 degrees. It's obviously got the 440 alpha. You have to aim for cupolas. The turret armor is decent. The hull armor is also okay. Mobility isn't tragic. Yeah, I'd say it's a good tank. It is a tank I want to get, but I kind of, at the same time, I'm not really that bothered because I have a Charlemagne now. And I feel like they play kind of similarly. So, yeah. CS52 Lease goes up in great tank. Very, very, very good all-rounder tank. I did make a video on that tank not that long ago, so I'd recommend go check that out. I'm not going to say I'm going to leave a link, because the last 2 times I've said that, A, I've forgotten, and B, these are going to be some very long videos, so if I left a link to everything, there'd be more links than description. But yeah, I think it's a very good tank. It's like a T-44-100 in my opinion, but a little bit better, just because of the combination of the 320 alpha. But very, very, very good tank. Definitely goes up into great tank. What are we on recording time? 23 minutes again, man. Oh, I'm going to have to split this video up again. Probably, maybe even another 2 times. Maybe one more time. We'll keep going for a little bit longer. SGRV S1. I mean, some people would put it up here. Some people, I personally would put it in the bin, because I just hate them, and I hate playing it. I'm going to say it's a decent tank. The gun is really good, but, you know, I think the armor is okay, but only because of overmatch mechanics, which basically means it doesn't matter about pen, it only matters about caliber. So, for example, can't pen it, can pen it, can pen it, can pen it, can't pen it, can pen it, can't, can, can't, can. Like that. That's the thing when it's from the front. It doesn't matter on pen. When you're firing AP, that is. If it's heat, then yeah, go nuts. So the armor's meh. The gun is really good, but it's a Swedish tank destroyer. You have to, if you want to shoot, you have to stop. You have to switch modes. Nah, it's decent. Personally, I absolutely hate it. SGRV 81, I think, is also a decent tank. I have personally haven't actually played it. But it's basically a Centurion, so I would say a decent tank. Emil 1951, I haven't actually played or really heard enough about. So I'm gonna put that in no opinion. I think it's a decent tank, or even maybe even a good tank, but I haven't played it enough to give it an opinion. Oh, you're running low on storage. Oh shit. Lanson. I haven't played it. I personally think that people say it's a good tank, so we're going to chuck it up here. 320 alpha. I think it's got pretty decent DPM. Wait, is it in the tech tree, or is it it's a stealthy boy? It's probably going to be easier just to go Swedish. There it is. So I think the DPM is actually pretty decent. No, I was completely wrong. I have egg all over my face. Well, it's not terrible for 320 alpha. Mobility is very nice, actually. 30 horsepower per ton. 380 meters view range. I'm going to put it in decent with the caveat of I've never played it. So if I've never played a tank, it does have the ability to move up or down one tier quite easily, just based on how it would play. So I'm going to chuck it in decent for now. Senlac, I don't actually know enough about. I haven't really played it enough. I've heard it's the best of the British light tanks, but then I don't know if that's like saying, well, syphilis is the best of the sexually transmitted diseases. Like, the British light tanks aren't great. I don't know if that means it's really great, or in comparison, which means it's actually a decent tank overall, or if it's just better than the tech tree tanks, which means it's still not great. I honestly couldn't tell you. G-Saw, the 1008, I think it is. Good tank. Reload, absolutely horrible. Brings it all the way down to probably below average. However, the gun, when it does sing, oh, it's lovely. 320 times 4, really nice accuracy, decent aim time. The pen, especially on the premium rounds, is fucking lovely, man. Fairly mobile, fully traversable turret. I'm pretty sure it's got like really good gun depression as well. Or am I thinking of something else? I think it's in my primaries. Yes, it is. Alright, 11 degrees gun depression. I was right. Gun elevation is an issue. DPM is an issue, but yeah, accuracy, aim time, the clip potential is really nice. The pen's really nice, especially on the premium rounds. It's a mobile tank destroyer with a fully traversable turret. I would say it's a good tank. Charlemagne. I would say, personally, it's a great tank. And considering that I'm pretty sure, if we go on What Life, we go on EU server statistics, and we reverse order by players, only 2,700 people have got them. So the likelihood of any of you guys actually having one is very limited. So I could put it where I want and you wouldn't know any bloody difference, because you've probably never really faced them on the battlefield either. Personally, I think it's a great tank. It's very, very, very good. It's got good armor. The turret's decent. It's got 440 alpha. The pen is interesting. The shell velocity is the thing that everybody thought would let it down. At 600, it doesn't really. Especially not in the kind of engagements you get in. 10 degrees gun depression. Premium rounds, really nice. Like, yeah, in my opinion, it does what the Defender does, but better, because you can use gun depression. And you can... yeah, it's relatively mobile as well. It's a great tank. I love it. I really think it's a really, really good tank. When more people get hold of it, then they might prove me wrong. But for now, screw you all. I'm putting in great tank. FE4202. Average. Used to be tier 10. I don't have the tank personally, but I've played it. It's just average. Armor's okay, but not great. Guns, meh. Mobility's meh. Chieftain T95. Tier 8 Chieftain. It's decent. I think it's better than the FV4202. It has had some buffs recently. I haven't really played it since it's been buffed. But the turret armor is actually pretty good, with the exception of the fatty old cupola. It's fairly mobile. the rest of the gun stats are actually really nice. The DPM's nice, accuracy aim time's really nice, and it's got a fairly decent slug of hit points for a tier 8 premium as well. And if you can wiggle and move your copilot, the turret armor, playing hold down, 10 degrees gun depression, actually really, really good. So, yeah, I'm going to put it there. And again, probably not a lot of you actually have the tank, so you can go suck a big one. Canon Action 10, I'm not dragging that, I'm just highlighting shit. That was really weird. Oh. Oh, is it having a mare? Oh, there we go. Canon Action 10. Great tank. Really, really great tank. Gun is ridiculous. Is that my computer having a shit fit, or is that the website having a bit of a barney? Yeah, really great tank. I think it's really, really nice. Gun depression good. Turret armor decent. DPM insane. Accuracy aim time insane. Yeah, it's a great tank. It's a really good tank to play. Right, Centurion. Can I get rid of any of these ads? I don't know if they will slow me down. Centurion 5-1. Oh no, it seems to be alright again now. Oh god. Oh god. It doesn't like it, guys. It's the tier list. It's the tier list. It's going in good tank. It's going in good tank. Okay, I'm gonna No, I now have a Centurion 5 on my screen for the whole time. Oh shit. Oh shit. Shit. Okay. Centurion 5-1 is going in good tank. We're gonna I'll try and get these last two Brits done, and then we'll break the video. And I may have to wipe the tier list and start again for the last part, depending on if it keeps like lagging like this. We'll get rid of tabs. That might help. Yeah, Centurion 5-1. It's a good tank. I think it's better than the Chieftain, and I think it's better than the FE4202. I think it's better than the SCRV. I don't really know why. I love the tank. The armor's really good, massively underrated. The mobility is decent, and the gun is pretty good. Fairly good all round. Chimera. There we go. Also think it's a good tank. It is below average, apparently. Okay, right. I may have to stop. Okay, I'm going to sort this out, guys, because this is going to become an absolute nightmare. The Chimera isn't there. We'll start from the Chimera next time. So, I hope you have enjoyed the video. If not, this bit that's happened right at the end, I'll see if I can sort out the problem, whatever it may be. If you have enjoyed the video, please make sure you give it a like. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Make sure you turn notifications on, etc., etc. I will be back for a third part. Hopefully, I'll get it all done in part 3, because I think there's a couple of tanks at the end, which are just all going to go in no opinion, so they'll be fairly quick. If you do think I have put any of the tanks in the wrong place, then please do make sure you tell me that I'm stupid in the comments. And yeah, on that, thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.